Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
Thanks for joining us for the City Manager's Report. I'm your host, Andy Radig, and joined today with your City Manager for the City of Oshkosh, Mark Rohloff. Mark is joining us remotely today. So Mark, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Andy. Just a little bit different this time.
Just a little bit different this time, but I think it'll work out just fine. Today we'll talk about some municipal news updates in the first half of the show. And then in the second half, we'll talk about some agenda highlights from the upcoming Tuesday, October 27th Common Council meeting. And that meeting can also be seen live on Oshkosh Media GovTV. So Mark, the first item that we're talking about today is that, and it's actually an item that we mentioned in the last show, is that meetings are now virtual, but all attendees will be participating remotely. That's right.
We're going to be having even council members as well as staff will all be participating remotely. There's still plenty of opportunities for the public to be able to participate. Of course, you can always watch it on GovTV as always, but if you want to participate, the idea is to be able to log on and register to be a speaker, and we will take care of you however we can. You can join the video conference. There's a link you can hit on. There's also a phone link if you don't have video conferencing capabilities, or if you just want to not show your face in the camera. And then, of course, you can continue to submit written comments either through the mail, email, or the City Hall Dropbox. And we'll collect those questions or comments, and we'll make sure the council receives them prior to the meeting.
And just a reminder that folks can always watch the meeting live on GovTV through all the different platforms available through Spectrum, Channel 10, UVerse Channel 99, watching online on OshkoshMedia.org, or through your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or your any device that you can watch online through Apple TV as well. So that's always available for folks.
Yeah. There's so many different options for people to be able to participate. We don't want to discourage people. We know it's a little bit different right now, but we want them to have an opportunity to continue to have a say in their local government. And we've got things coming up, so we certainly want people to be able to submit comments, whether it's about planning issues or budget or any of those things.
That's right. That's right. And as far as other things that are happening with City Hall is currently open to the public for voting only, and that closure is now through November 6th. And but we want to remind people that online services are available for folks as well.
Yeah, we were closed earlier in the year, and we developed a lot of different online alternatives for people to use. And those are still available on our city website for you to take advantage of, even for bill paying. And I know some people still like dropping off the utility bill for payment. We have the Dropbox in front of City Hall. We're using it for all sorts of purposes, whether you're early voting or still paying your bills, or you just want to get some information. The Dropbox we check on pretty regularly, so we encourage people to use the Dropbox whenever they feel necessary. But a lot of online resources that we want to encourage people to use.
Yeah, definitely. Those resources are available for folks through the city's website. And speaking of services available, so there are different ways that folks can cast their ballot. And absentee ballots are available through Thursday, October 29th. But we encourage folks to request that ballot much earlier than that if possible, and to turn it in right away, preferably through the Dropbox at City Hall.
Yeah, that deadline that the state allows for people to request a ballot, it could make it awkward for you to get it back and get the ballot and then return it back to us. So we're encouraging people, if you haven't requested an absentee ballot by the first of, say, next week, what is it, October 24th.
29th.
you're probably better off just doing the early voting or showing up on election day. We're going to have plenty of protections in place for people to either early vote here at City Hall or voting at your regular polling place on election day. We've got so many people that have already done early voting through absentee by mail-in ballot that I would suspect that the crowds at the individual polling places will be lesser because we've gotten so many people who have chosen to vote early by mail-in. So I think we're spreading it out pretty well so that whatever you feel most comfortable doing for voting purposes, you'll be able to do that.
That's right. And that in-person absentee voting is happening now through October 30th at City Hall, as the graphic said there. And hours are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on weekdays. And a reminder to folks to bring a photo ID when they come to vote. Absolutely. So we've got all those options available. We'll do our very best to make sure that we're accommodating all of voter needs. But it's been crowded here at City Hall the last few days. So we want to make sure that whatever selection you make for voting is as safe and as convenient as possible. And Mark, as you said, polling places will be open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 3rd. And if folks would like to find out more information about their polling place and such, that website that was up before is a great place to find that out, myvote.wi.gov, and you can learn a lot more about voting and your polling place and all the details about what you would see on your ballot as well, so you can preview that. So I don't know if there's just kind of a guesstimate, Mark, of how many absentee ballots have been sent out. Yeah, Pam Uberg, our city clerk, reported to me that and this was last week's numbers, we'd already had 14,000 requests for a mail-in ballot, and over 7,500 have been returned already. So that's why we feel pretty good that you're going to be able to have a pretty safe voting experience regardless of which option you choose, because there'll be plenty of people that will have early voted either by mail-in or in person at City Hall. So by the time Election Day rolls around, we'll be pretty good. But 7,500 ballots returned already with 2 weeks left before the election. I'm very optimistic that we're going to have a very high mail-in turnout, which I think will be great. And that'll help make things easier on Election Day. Unlike what other reports have been, we're going to be prepared to handle all of our mail-in ballots fairly easily. We have a system set up that we will be able to put those in. We can't put them in until Election Day, but we can get them through the system pretty well so that by the time the polls close at 8 o'clock, our absentee ballots will have been fed through our machines before the polls close in most every case. So we feel pretty good that we've got our act together for vote counting on November 3rd. Okay, awesome. And thanks for that update, Mark. There's a lot going on with elections right now, so we'll keep folks updated here on that. There's a COVID-19 recovery funding available called Routes to Recovery, local government aid grants. Mark, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that. Well, yeah, this is the Department of Administration with the state of Wisconsin is sort of the funnel point for local monies getting distributed from the feds to the local government through the Department of Administration. And we've received we've been awarded almost $1.1 million. I think it's $1,092,000. And of that, we've already submitted and requested over $900,000 of that for reimbursement. And most of those claims, like 99% of those claims, have been accepted. So we're really using it for purposes of staff time that's been dedicated to COVID and expenses that we've incurred to address the pandemic. We've done a lot of misting of City Hall so that regardless of what meetings we've had in there and who's been in there, that people know they can come and feel relatively safe, that we've done things to disinfect the building. So, and other things that we've done, some protective devices for the
fire department and the police department so that they can continue to serve the public safely. Those are all things that we're doing with the CARES money, which we feel is appropriate. And I think the taxpayers are getting their money's worth with respect to this, because, regardless of us saying it's federal money is your money. You're the taxpayer. You're paying for it. So we want to make sure that we're spending it as if it was our own money.
Absolutely. And another grant that Oshkosh is receiving, $800,000 of a federal grant, community development block grant. That's CARES Act funding. Mark, if you can tell us a little bit more about that.
It's a different program. This is a special funding through the CARES Act for community development block grant recipient cities. We're considered an entitlement city. And so we've got an extra $800,000. It primarily is for affordable housing. So some of the things that we're looking at doing is some type of, assistance to people who may have lost their job, temporarily unemployed. We're working closely with a group called ADVCAP to see if they can help us in qualifying people. And then we're also looking to our nonprofit sector, who does so much in the way of social services, that we want to support them. So those are all the potential uses of that money. And we actually might be getting another $200,000 from another part of the community development block grant program. And there are all sorts of rules that you have to follow, and we're going to take care of those and try to do things to benefit low and moderate income families.
And this is for organizations or folks that have been impacted by COVID-19, is that correct?
That's the idea, but it's as long as if they've been impacted because of unemployment or something like that, that's COVID related, and that would be a legitimate cost. We're still trying to work through all of the eligibility issues that are out there, so we're learning as we go along.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the update on that. Another thing happening around town, folks that are impacted by this have received information about it, but this past week there's been a new technique that's been employed for water main flushing, unidirectional flushing. So a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's just to make sure that we, anything that might be laying in our water system is cleaned out, especially at dead ends. Where hydrants go down a street or a cul-de-sac and don't have anywhere to loop around. So we're doing what's called this unidirectional flushing, just kind of a pilot program to see how it works. But it should help clean the pipe system a little better, which gives you better quality water, and it's improved capacity. It helps improve the carrying capacity of the pipes, because once you get that gunk out of there, you just have more room in your water pipe. So it really helps with the improved system, water system operation. So you may have seen those folks out there wondering what they're up to. That's what they're doing, just making sure your water mains are as clean as possible.
And from the video we're seeing there, it looks like quite a bit of water pressure going through those pipes, so probably good to clean it.
Yeah, and the whole idea is to get a lot of pressure to really push that out, and that's they do a pretty nice job of getting that all done. So it's like I said, it's a newish type of program that we're experimenting with, and hopefully we'll get some good results from it. Okay,
and thanks to our own Scott Williams for going out on this rainy day to gather that video. So thanks for doing that, Scott.
Yeah, Scott was going to get wet whether he was in front of the pipes or just out there in the rain. So yeah, thanks, Scotty.
As long as he wasn't underneath that shower of water there, I think he's in good shape. So that's great. Taking a look back, a recap of the Truck or Treat event that happened recently at Menominee Park was quite successful. There were a lot of folks involved in that, and it sold out. The tickets sold out.
Yeah, we had 29 different stations. So those are businesses and nonprofits that chose to be part of participating in Truck or Treat. So we really appreciate that. And our own Jenny McCallion, our facilities revenue manager, who's responsible for the zoo and so many other things. She was really bummed out that we did not have the Touch a Truck event or the Zulaween Boo. So this was a mishmash of those two events. But we had 500 carloads of people that we could have taken, and a lot of smiling faces in those cars. I'm sure they were very happy, and I can't thank the the business and nonprofit community enough for stepping up to make this a successful event.
Absolutely. They had a stilt walker and they had a juggler, some other entertainment. So even though they had a long line of folks, everybody had a good time, and it was kind of an alternative to the other events that normally would have been scheduled, and I think it was quite successful. And the Parks Department is looking to do some other events as well. I know that there's a costume contest that's coming up, and some other things. There's some information about the costume contest, and folks can go to the Parks Department or the Menominee Park Facebook pages, and they can learn more about the costume contest and the pumpkin carving contest. And so there's quite a bit going on there that folks can get involved with.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people don't have the opportunity in this day and age to go to like a little party event or something. So this is sort of the way they can do the costume contest and the pumpkin carving contest. And we're happy to just add something little. It's not everything, but it certainly means a little bit to people in the community. So we're happy to do that. So enjoy the revised holidays, but we'll try to make it as happy as possible.
Always great to have those alternatives available. That's great. We also wanted to have a reminder for folks that loose leaf pickup is happening, and that began this past week. And so loose leaf pickup happens the day following your normal garbage day pickup. So that's now through November 20th.
Exactly. And, we just want to remind everybody it's the day after the regular garbage day. For Friday collection, the leaf collection's the following Monday, but leaves only. Don't throw grass, brush, or other things. Put the leaves in the terrace. Please don't put them in the street. It's dangerous, and it's not good for our storm drain systems either. If you can get them out by 7 a.m. that day on collection day, that'd be great. And like you said, we're going to be doing this through the week of November 16th, and this information is going to be in the Hot Topics section of the city's website regardless. So look for that information and, start raking because the leaves are falling with all this rain we're having.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, I think that's about what we have for the first half of the show today. So we'll take a short break here, and we'll come back with a preview of the Tuesday, October 27th Common Council meeting. Stay tuned.
Everyone, I'm Dr. Ann Schuckett, Principal Deputy Director of CDC. Keeping hands clean is one of the most effective ways to prevent the spread of many contagious illnesses, such as COVID-19 or the flu. Clean hands help to keep you and your family from getting sick. Practicing good hand hygiene means washing hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. If soap and water are not readily available, use a hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Always wash your hands at key times when you are likely to get and spread germs, such as before and after preparing food or eating, after using the toilet, after coughing, sneezing, or blowing your nose and throwing away the tissue. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it becomes even more critical to clean hands before and after touching your face mask, and before and after touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. Remember, keep cleaning those hands with soap and water. Do it often, and do it for 20 seconds.
And welcome back to the City Manager's Report. I'm your host, Andy Radig, along with City Manager Mark Rohloff. Mark, diving into the agenda, the item that we're starting off with today is the approval of the closure of Ohio Street from West 17th Avenue to West 20th Avenue. And I believe this deals with manhole replacement?
Yeah, we're going to be doing some manhole replacement over on that area of Ohio Street between 17th and 20th. So, for those folks who live there, they'll still have access to the street, but certainly for people who may use Ohio Street as a shortcut, it'll be inaccessible for through traffic during that time. And be on the lookout for when that'll officially take place. Council has to approve it first because that's considered a collector thoroughfare for the city.
Okay, and then similarly, there's approval of the closure of Bowen Street from East Melvin to East New York Avenue, and that I think that's due to some lead pipe replacements.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of the neighbors in that area have done their own private services, so we need to get some of our pipes that are in the public right of way taken care of. And so similarly, we're going to be doing some digging. It's going to be inconvenient, and Bowen's a well-traveled street on the north side of town, so we want to make sure people are aware of it. Again, residents will have access, but if you want to drive through on Bowen, you probably ought to pick a different route. Take a nice drive along Hazel and Menominee Park, or go back to Main Street, and you'll be okay.
Okay, and we'll keep folks updated as to when those closures will happen. We have another item, extension of the paratransit service, 1 year extension of the contract, I believe it is.
Yeah, this is for the non-ambulatory. So these are people who are typically confined to wheelchairs or need some greater assistance. The prices have been going up a great deal, and so we have to take a look at this. So we're to keep the cost down and to have a better long-term strategy, we're going to only recommend a 1 year contract. And then the ambulatory part of the contract is due to expire at the end of 2021. So we want to bring those two contracts together and see if we can get a better deal for us. Even though we get some of this federally funded with transit, we still are paying a lot of local dollars for this program, and we want to get our money's worth. So we're only recommending a 1 year contract with Running Incorporated, and we'll take a look at it next year.
Okay, very good. And then we have another item to accept a gift of rectangular, rapidly flashing beacons. And I believe that this relates to safety at crosswalks, including roundabouts.
Yeah, the Winnebago County Aging and Disability Resource Center, better known as the ADRC, they're wonderful advocates for our aging community and disabled community. And they do a lot of good stuff. And they've been listening to some of their clients and getting some of those RRFBs, as you described, rectangular rapidly flashing beacons. We call them RRFBs for short. We have one over at Murdoch and Jackson Street, and they've been pretty successful in helping make drivers aware of pedestrians that are trying to cross the street, and particularly for those in our disabled community that need a little extra help crossing the street. These RRFBs are considered to be a good way to do it. The ADRC with Winnebago County is proposed to, they've offered to pay for one of those RRFBs to go on the intersection of 9th and Washburn, 9th and Washburn, excuse me. The idea is to get a start on those and just see if there's more demand for those, if people will take advantage of it. So, our roundabouts, especially at 9th and Washburn, that's a 2-lane roundabout. That's pretty active. It's right near Interstate 41, but it's near a lot of shopping areas such as Walmart and some of the restaurants down there. So we think it's a good location to consider that.
And we just want to give a reminder that drivers should be aware of pedestrians and to give way, right of way to them when they're crossing the roads at roundabouts. So just to kind of give a little extra attention there, and just be sure to give the right of way to those pedestrians. Then, Mark, we have another item to approve the 2021 Business Improvement District Operating Plan and Budget.
Yeah, the Business Improvement District does a lot with the downtown businesses, primarily on the north side of downtown. A lot of marketing and promotion that they do, and because they levy an assessment on their own properties, it's an extra charge that they get on their property tax bill. As a matter of accountability, the council approves that plan. And they do a lot of neat events like the holiday parade, which unfortunately is not happening this year. But they do those things. But during the summer, they've done chalk walk, and they're doing Live at Leach now. So they're doing a lot of cool things. And then they're also still contributing to the parking utility to offset some of the costs that we've incurred over the years for many of our parking improvements over there. So we're happy to be working with them and appreciate what they're doing to help keep the downtown vibrant. It's a big challenge these days, but they're up to the occasion, and we really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for that update on that. And then, Mark, we also have toward the end of the agenda the future agenda items, and we're deep into budget season. So I don't know if you could just give us a brief overview of the budget.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We did have a 2-day long budget work session on October 19th and 20th, where we talked about a lot of this. A lot of people don't realize what a large operation that the city of Oshkosh budget is, but our operating budget for all of our funds, including utilities and that, is about $140 million. And add on to that our capital improvement program of $62 million, we are a $200 million a year operation. Most people focus on our general fund, which is our basic services, police, fire, public works types of things. That's $41.9 million. So it gives you an idea, but that's where most of your tax dollars go to, your property tax dollars. And the levy, council asked us to try to keep a limit on that. We were looking at a slightly under 3% increase in the levy. That's still subject to council approval. And we have a schedule of activities between now and when the budget is due to be adopted on the 10th of November. So we're going to have a budget hearing on Wednesday, November 4th at 5 p.m. It's still all virtual, but the whole idea is that the public still has an opportunity to weigh in on the budget. I encourage you to look it up online. The budget's online. Council's going to have a budget workshop after that hearing to see if they want to make any changes based on the public input. And then council will offer up amendments, anything they would like to see changed in the budget. And then they'll approve it on November 10th. And the reason we do it that early is we need to get tax bills prepared and tax bills out for early December mailing out to everybody.
And folks are able to participate in that through remote participation as well. So take a look at the top of the agenda for that, and that will have all the details for you of how to participate. Mark, just a quick thing, trick-or-treat hours for Oshkosh?
Yep, as we mentioned last time, trick-or-treat hours, it's Saturday, a weekend, so it's 4 to 7 p.m. There's a lot of great tips that we have that we've posted online on our Facebook page, and so we encourage people to follow those. We're going to have all on social media, but we want people to be safe on Halloween, and some of these tips I think will help your family.
Absolutely. We'll be posting those on the Oshkosh Media Facebook page. And just one last thing, too, just a reminder for folks that Go Transit has a free fare day on Election Day, which is November 3rd, so they can ride the bus to the polls.
And it's not just for election. If you want to go shopping that day and ride free, go ahead. If you want to vote and shop, that's great, too. But we certainly want to have people give Go Transit a try. So appreciate if you want to give Go Transit a try, and hope you enjoy your ride.
Okay, well, Mark, I think that's about all the time that we have today. So thanks for joining us remotely today.
I'm happy to be here, Andy. Take care.
Okay, I think it worked out pretty well. So again, the Oshkosh Common Council meeting is coming up on Tuesday, October 27th. That meeting will be carried live on GovTV and also on UVerse Channel 99, Spectrum Channel 10, streaming on YouTube, as well as on OshkoshMedia.org. Or you can listen to it live on the radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9, which is also online, and on the TuneIn Radio app for mobile devices. So thanks again for watching, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with another new City Managers Report. Take care, everyone.